Unit number MNG91211. Assessment 3, Positive Leader Presentation. Andrew J. Wills, student number 2306018. So the topic, identify one of the characteristics of being a positive leader and develop a strategy that a positive leader could use to improve the productivity and well-being of one type of employee. The discussion opens with a topic of productivity and well-being of the employee. So for an organisation to be seen as an employer of choice, the company has to have some sort of an attraction that draws in new applicants, makes the current employee group the envy of outsiders, and the current talent pool are satisfied with the environment and willing to stay on. So the organisation needs to meet the needs of the employees while also satisfying the organisational goals. The organisation can foster the employees' well-being by providing interesting and stimulating work and allow them to meet new challenges. Organisations need to consider employees as valuable resources. So we're introduced to perceived organisational support, and it's described as an employee's perception that the organisation values their work contributions and cares about their well-being. In this scenario, both the employer and employee benefit from a perceived organisational support scenario. The ability of the organisation to retain quality talent relies on the organisation to provide a career through advancement. So the employees are able to train in new skills, they are able to have regular and fair evaluations, and there's a visible pathway for promotion, which may include a mentoring program. Part of this process is that the employee group must be satisfied that the company espouses clear ethical and moral attributes in its values and vision statements, and also encompasses the ideals of social responsibility. It is contended that perceived organisational support contributes to greater emotional commitment, increased performance, reduced absences, and additionally better employee psychological well-being. The organisation can assist with the employee feeling valued by recognising hard work with fair remuneration, providing rewards for time served and bonuses for recognised exceptional contribution. So that all of these things added together will result in increased productivity, and this is to the overall benefit of the organisation. The idea of the concept of perceived organisational support means employees are more satisfied with their jobs and feel more closely connected to the organisation. So they can take ownership of organisational goals and are likely to show greater loyalty. And on the flip side, perceived organisational support signals to the employees that the organisation is ready to provide aid with their jobs and to reward increased performance. So this is a productivity thing. So the interface between the employees and the organisation are the leadership group. So we're now going to talk about the authentic leader. And authentic leaders are defined as leaders who bring people together around a shared mission and values that empowers them to lead. So we've got what the requirements of an organisation is, and also the ability for the employees to make some decisions on their own behalf. So the idea that a level of autonomy will provide better customer service and greater value to the stakeholders. So initially the employees need to have a baseline in which to work, an environment where they can experience the overall requirements of the position and have their expectations catered to. So where the authentic leader comes into this scenario is they act as a role model, and thus the employees will identify with them. And when the leader displays high moral standards and acts with honesty and integrity. If the employee's positive psychological capital, that is, the combination of self-confidence, hope, trust and resilience, is built up, the employee's job satisfaction is increased because they'll genuinely feel supported for their efforts. The general theory is that the relationship of the leader and the employee is symbiotic. Employees are likely to have their basic needs satisfied if the leaders acknowledge that their subordinates' perspective and provide feedback in a non-manipulative manner. Employees' needs can be satisfied when the leaders of an organisation adopt behaviours which encourage employees to act autonomously, increase an individual's competence by providing training opportunities and challenging work, and by engaging with the employee and showing empathy for the employee's experiences. From authentic leadership, we move on to a thing called self-determination theory. This is about the employee. Self-determination theory deems that employees require the satisfaction of three basic psychological needs to allow them to function optimally in the workplace. They are autonomy, competence, and relatedness. And these three needs are related to the individual's psychological growth. To facilitate and foster the ability to act autonomously, managers within the organisation need to have high-quality supervisor-employee interactions, characterised by support, mutual trust, respect, and obligation. So, the self-determination theory suggests individuals must have a say in the way the work is carried out. Individuals must perceive the work they do as important and leads to significant results, and have a desire to have a meaningful relationship with others. In these scenarios, positive work outcomes are the result if the environment the employees work in facilitate and satisfies these experiences. To this point, we can see that the employees function better or have higher productivity levels if they are allowed to be in charge of their own destinies, per se. So employees are empowered to drive their own development throughout their career. So it's up to the individual to determine how their career is going to go. That means they have the responsibility to initiate their career planning, communicate their value to the company, and seek out feedback and people who can mentor them and seek career opportunities and experiences. In the manager space, they are expected to guide and assist the employee by engaging the employee in career development conversations, encouraging the employee to take responsibility for their career, helping the employee to realistically assess their capabilities and develop them where needed, sharing stories about their own career with the employee to show that they can start from a certain level and rise as they go, and connect with the employee to the others and opportunities to help them grow. So we have the symbiotic relationship where the employees want to be able to control their own destiny, but they have to be supported by a management or leadership team that will allow them to do it. But the reality is the organisation is to provide the employee and their managers with the tools and resources to assist them in this process. So the strategy we are talking about here is career development. So the purpose of career development is to initiate career planning and reinforce the employee's long-term career aspirations, identify short-term and long-term career aspirations, identify and track the career development goals, career development activities which can be applied. So there's a couple of ways they can go about that. Formal learning, going on courses, experiential, so on-the-job training, which is quite common, and accelerants, so activities which speed employee development, such as mentoring, a regular assessment program. One of those, for example, would be the 360 assessment program. Coaching. So career goals are different from performance goals. Performance goals are focused on outcomes, and they're normally generated by the organisation themselves. Career goals focus on the building skills and experiences and support for the next position that the employee wants to look at. While the organisation is indebted, not indebted, it was a requirement to try and assist the employee to meet their goals. The reality is that the organisation's still got to perform. So what they normally do is match up the career goals with the performance goals of the company, and quite often the organisational leadership team will set the performance goals, and then each subgroup under that will set their performance goals, and then each of the employees or individuals will set their career goals to meet the performance goals of the organisation. A few examples of career development activities. So we've got formal learning. So that could be classroom training, online courses, webinars, or a seminar or workshop. The experience-based ones, so go on a special assignment. You can do rotations through different departments, perhaps shadowing an expert on the job. And the accelerant activities, mentoring, the 360-degree feedback process, and a different number of assessments or competency based on skills, preferences, personality and strengths. Taking one snapshot from the career development activities, taking experiences. Experiences are an important source of development, career growth. Consider using these categories to identify potential experiences available to the employee while on the job, including reviewing and applying best practice, expanding the scope of the employee's current role, overcoming change and diversity, dealing with challenging situations and relationships, influencing and persuading others, especially outside of the employee's normal chain of command, engaging in projects which require the employee to make difficult or challenging decisions. So finally, I want to wrap up with a thing called effective commitment. It's a core component of the organisational commitment and is defined as the emotional attachment employees feel towards an organisation. If an employee has high effective commitment, they display increased overall job performance, reduced stress, reduced turnover and absenteeism. A positive organisational culture will be the catalyst for a healthy image, reflecting predictability and reliability. If the organisation educate their managers to show more positive emotions, and when the level of authentic leadership is high, the relationship with employees' trust and effective commitment to the organisation is stronger. So, summary, the presentation is how a positive leader can use the tools available to them, as provided by the company, in this case, to develop a strategy to assist the employee with career development. It is shown in the literature that a number of things work together in favour of the employee and the organisation alike. An empathetic and interested leader and a self-motivated employee can combine to reach two outcomes: productivity and well-being. Managers support the actions of the employee by actively providing employees with choice and minimising surveillance, provide workers with resources and training, as well as challenging tasks, objectives and feedback, and have regular interactions with employees, encourage cooperation and validate their employees' emotions at work. Employees respond to this by increasing productivity.